Hey everybody! Happy oh god, I don't even know what day it is. Thursday. Happy hashtag Thrive Thursday. So again, this is Scott Aaron coming to you live with another incredible interview. And obviously you've been seeing me and hearing me. There's Bryce. I'm going to bring him on. And all right. He's 22. This gentleman is 22 years old and literally creating incredible things. Josh Bendrick, what's up, brother? Good to see you jumping on here. So I'm going to add Bryce in really quickly so you guys can hear this kid. I mean, he is a kid. I'm going to be 40 next month. I'm 18 years older than him. So I'm going to wait for him to pop on. I think he told me this is his first Facebook Live. So I know that, he knows about technology and stuff. So we're going to see if this adds him in. So I'm going to wait for him to pop on. But Bryce and I connected at our first mastermind event out in California in May. And we just hit it off. And, the first night that we had dinner, we actually walked, just him and I, and just caught up and just talked about business. And it was really, really great. And it was one of those things where, all right, so Bryce, I'm going to invite you on, and you're gonna get a little pop up, and make sure you're on your phone, and you're gonna get a pop up that's gonna say, go live, and just hit the accept button when I invite you right now. So I'm gonna add you, and then you're gonna get a notification. Make sure your phone is turned sideways, and just accept the invite when I send it to you. So I'm trying to add you in. So all you have to do, brother, is hit go live, and that'll connect you to the oh, there we go. There we are.
I am here. I did it.
You did. See, you learn something new every day. So the old guy is teaching the young guy something today.
Yeah, I know. Give me just a second to prop this camera.
So obviously we got Bryce on now, and I know this is your first Facebook Live.
Yep, this is number one.
So, well, first, I'm honored that it was me that you're doing your first Facebook Live with. So, I don't like telling people too much about the person I'm going to interview because, I want you to do the storytelling, not me. And I remember the first night, when we were walking to dinner, and I was like, "How old are you?" And you're like, "I'm 22." And I'm like, "Oh shit!" I'm like I'm almost 20 years older than this guy, and that says so much because you're in this elite mastermind with me, and you're doing really, really incredible things, and it's only getting bigger. So why don't you just take the floor right now before we go into a little bit of a Q&A, and just introduce yourself to my audience, who you are, where you're from, and what you do for an entrepreneurial profession.
Yeah, of course. So 22. Actually, tomorrow is the big 23.
Oh, nice! Happy early birthday.
So yeah, getting up there. I'm catching up to you. But born in upstate New York, raised in Florida. Recently relocated out to Denver, Colorado. As far as entrepreneurial journey, I started a business called Ticket Pickers between my junior and senior year of college. Kind of fiddled with it throughout my senior year. Was playing soccer and a full-time student. Wasn't really able to dive 100% into it, but upon graduation, kind of went full head steam. Brought on some employees, and I'm here now. I think year one in 2017, we were able to reach six figures. Year two in 2018, we were able to reach seven figures.
Wow.
And are hoping to continue that trend, but I'm loving the ride. I built a great team around me. I have a fantastic team. Really, really great individuals, and owe a lot to them. I definitely wouldn't be in this position if it weren't for them. And trying to again continue the trend and keep on this path.
Yeah, is Barbara your mom?
Barbara, yes.
All right, so your mom's on here. Hi,
Mom is
Barbara.
watching.
Yeah, no, honestly, because I grew up in like the stereotypical Jewish household, so my mom is still overbearing. I'm going to be 40 next month, and she still like calls and texts me every single day. If I'm flying somewhere, I have to send her my itinerary. So I have to take her when I'm on the tarmac. I have to text her when I land. But it's
Okay.
like family is everything to me. Like I love my mom more than anything, and um, but it's great to see your mom on here supporting her son. And I can imagine how proud she is of you. And I know we all are in the mastermind doing what you're doing at 22 in your second year of business, doing seven figures, and that's something that some people never ever get to see. Um, so let me ask you this. So tell people like because I want to go all the way back, but tell people a little bit about your business and what you do, and what makes your business different than others out there like your business.
Yeah, of course. So big picture, ticket pickers is ticket resale. And usually when I say that, people think StubHub, Ticketmaster, Vivid Seats. And it's a little bit of a different spin. It's kind of a similar business model to a lot of different business models, but kind of saw a gap in it with event tickets where there's these sites like StubHub and Vivid Seats where you can go on and you can sell tickets yourself. But it's difficult. It takes time. You have to kind of understand it, and you have to be tech savvy. Not only that, but there's no guarantee in it. So what we've done with ticket pickers is we've provided an opportunity for people to get guaranteed offers on their tickets. Essentially, how the process works is they'll come to us, they'll reach out, and they'll say, "Hey, I have two tickets to the Broncos game." They'll tell us the section, they'll tell us the row. We'll give them a price or a quote based off of the market value. Then they have the option to either accept or reject it. If they accept it, we send them the money, they send us the tickets, and then it's done with. They have their money. They don't have to worry about whether it's going to sell or not. They have guaranteed money. If they don't accept it, they don't like the price, then fine. They can, do whatever they please with the tickets. It's still theirs. Um, but yeah, it's something we've found that's very convenient for a lot of people. It's definitely not for everybody, and there's always people who like to squeeze a couple extra bucks out of it and sell the ticket on their own. But there's also people who say, hey, this ticket's just going to go to waste. I'm not going to find anyone to use it. And for us, it's a great opportunity because we're able to make sure that that ticket's used by someone. We understand how many people want to go to these events and how
Mm-hmm.
many empty seats there are, how many unused tickets there are. So we're kind of trying to fill that gap, provide affordable tickets for people based off the market. And yeah, it's something that's been proven to be pretty useful for quite a few people. So
And I just want to reiterate to people watching, a 22-year-old seven-figure earner in his enterprise. That's just incredible. So I love the stories and I know you and I were talking about this on the way to dinner, and we were both sharing with each other how our business happened, and both of us, with my coaching practice, with ticket pickers, we both started these kind of like by accident through like our own experience. So tell the audience a little bit of the stories about how the company, evolved and how it was created based off of things that you noticed from personal experience.
to be honest, I hate this question because I feel like I feel like I need some kind of like cool like light switch, like
It
something
doesn't, yeah,
happened.
it doesn't have to be an amazing story, but people know, like, there's always that moment where something is born, whether it's
Yeah.
simple or not.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it started with me selling some tickets that I couldn't use. I think it was to a Rihanna concert. Sold some tickets that I couldn't use and made a little bit of money. And I was like, this is interesting. Um, Kind of saw that there was, I think, buying Lightning playoff tickets, that there was a lot of people through Craigslist, whether it was season ticket holders, stuff like that just wanted to sell their tickets. They just wanted to make sure they got used by somebody and they got a little bit of money back. Um, Ended up making a Twitter page where people could come and sell their tickets. Gravitated towards Facebook and began to see a lot of volume, and a wide need for it. And I think just kind of capitalized on the opportunity and saw, hey, this is something that people need. Um, was enjoying the ride, and really dove full head of steam into it.
And just to reiterate, this was done 100% organically. This was you going on Twitter. People were going to that page. On Facebook, you were doing organic reach out and buying and selling. So this wasn't done through funnels. It wasn't, in the beginning, it wasn't done through Facebook ads or any of that. This was strictly done organic in the beginning.
Yeah, so actually, still now everything's been 100% organic. That's kind of the next step for us is figuring out Facebook advertisements and Google advertisements, which is something I'm really excited about, and is kind of our next step.
Yeah.
But yeah, up until now, everything's been organic. We haven't paid for any sort of advertising.
So what was it about entrepreneurship? And I know that you went to college. Did you finish college?
Yes.
So obviously, and as did I, and you have a degree, I have a degree, but what was it about entrepreneurship? Because obviously, this was obviously a taste of this profession of being an entrepreneur, where you're like, you know what? I don't need to write up a resume. I don't need to go on job interviews. I feel there's a gap in the market, and I can fill the void with what I have. What was that? What was that light bulb moment for you, whether it was in high school or in college, where you're like, you know what, I'm gravitating, being more psychologically unemployable, and I really love this entrepreneurship game, and I want to do it. So what was that moment for you? And I mean, because I got into the entrepreneurship game at 18, through obviously struggle with my family. My father, everyone's heard my story. My dad was in prison for a couple of years, and that kind of thrusted me at 18 going on 19 to take over our family's gym business. But, everyone has a different route. So what was that moment for you where you're like, you know what? I don't want a regular job. I want to create my own economy.
Yeah. Again, I don't think it was an aha moment, but it was more gradual. Um, I never worked a real job. I worked at golf courses and played on teams, but um, I think with those jobs on golf courses, I don't want to sound arrogant, but I always saw my bosses and didn't think they were doing a good job. I didn't think they were doing a good job handling me, building teams, and again, not to sound arrogant, but felt as if I could have done better.
Hmm.
Um, so there was that. I didn't ever like the idea of working for somebody. I liked the idea of working for myself or working with somebody. And on top of that, I think I realized the flexibility that it provides. It instantly allowed me to be a leader, which I love. Um, and I probably the biggest thing for me is being an entrepreneur. It's all in your hands. Like,
Yeah.
whether it's success or it's failure, it's because of me. Um, so I think that's something that really, really drives me. And there's never the concern of, if I'm working for a company, well, if the company doesn't do well, then I'm out of a job. If something happens, it's because of me, whether it's good or it's bad. So I think that's really big for me, and having the understanding that I hold the cards and futures in my hands.
Of course, being able to write your own check, so to speak, is a very empowering thing. And I don't think there's any arrogance in you knowing that you can do something better, because um, I think actually Chris posted this the other day about changing the language. Arrogance actually can mean confidence, and at a very young age, you were confident in the skills that you possessed, that you could do things better, and that's listen. And it shows. You're running $1 million plus a year business at 22 years old. So you do know how to lead others. You do know how to build teams and create culture. So at such a young age, what's besides scaling, which you're in the process of doing right now, with the growth of your company happening so fast over 24 months, going from just basically inception to seven figures, what's been the biggest growth challenge that you've faced in these first 2 plus years?
I would say leadership for sure. Um, for me, it's that's the thing that I probably care deeply deepest about. And kind of going from where it's just me to bringing on one person, to bringing on another person, to bring on three more people, contractors, W-2 employees, partnerships, stuff like that, and figuring out how to go from, leading myself, which was easy. It's easy for me to motivate myself and get
Right.
myself to get up in the morning and give my all and give everything to the company. But kind of figuring out the little nuances of other people and, psychological things and how I can get 100% out of someone else, how I can get people to work together as a team, getting the right people on the bus, getting the wrong people off the bus. That's been a very, very big challenge for me, and is something that I'll never be perfect at it. But that's something I definitely strive for. And I think will always be my biggest challenge, kind of building a team, getting the most out of them, because it's a hamster wheel. Like
Yeah.
it is never going to be perfect. It's never going to be as good as it can be.
So in being the youngest entrepreneur in our mastermind of 40 people, because I mean it ranges, I think you're the youngest, and I would say the oldest, probably people in their mid to late 40s. Um, what was the biggest takeaway for you being in this room of successful entrepreneurs just like yourself, but being sometimes 20 years younger than them? Obviously I know one could feel kind of out of place or intimidated because, you might still see yourself as a kid, and, there's all these people that are established and they're making more money than me, or, they're doing this, that, or the other. What was the biggest takeaway from that weekend that you experienced? Because obviously it's my first mastermind, your first mastermind, and I guess that this happened for you, just like me, at the most perfect time, because I think most people that are in this mastermind are in that big growth phase of what's next, like what do I need to do next to get to the next level. So what was your biggest takeaway from that first weekend?
Um, I think it was how much I don't know.
Mm.
And that was, I, I knew I didn't know a lot walking into there, um, and seeing how advanced everyone was. Um, I came to a very quick realization through probably the first one or two conversations that I have a lot to learn. And not saying I didn't already know that, but I think it was far more than I originally thought.
Mm.
Um, but on top of that, there was the excitement of how many assets I had in the room, and
Mm.
and the realization of how much an accelerator that was going to be for me. Having those contacts, having all these people in our mastermind that really, really cared deeply about helping me out, helping you out, um, and also being able to provide value back to them, which that was, I think, probably the biggest realization for me.
And we're both about 2.5 months into the mastermind. Um, it's been about 6-7 weeks since the first meeting out in California. What's been the biggest shift for you in your business, or what's been the biggest change or takeaway that you've seen post being out in California?
I think it just comes with the contacts, and there's not really one specific thing that's happened in my business that's been like, this is it. There's been a lot of little things, but I think it's, people always talk about you are who you surround yourself with, and you know, it's about who you know, not what you know. And I've
Yeah.
really realized how true that is. Because, as an entrepreneur, there's so many things that come across my plate every single day that I'm clueless about.
Yeah.
And I've gone from where it took me 3 months to research something and figure out the answer on my own, to where I can give you a call, I can give Josh a call, I can give someone a call who I know knows the answer, and it's a 20-minute phone call.
Yeah.
It's I mean, that's been huge for me. It's been such an acceleration.
No, I reached out to Chris actually yesterday just to thank him again. I've probably reached out to him 3 or 4 times since, and just to how genius, because Chris is there to support all of us, but you can see that we have our private group, and we're doing our monthly Zooms. Our next one is next week, which I'm excited about. And you can see I'm excited. And I said this to you when you reached out to me and we talked last week. I'm excited to see everybody in May. I'm excited to go back out there and because you go out there the first weekend, you don't know anyone, and then you start to form these relationships in between, and it's like, yeah, I can't wait to see my friends now, because you go from just being people in the mastermind to actually friends being in a mastermind together, and it becomes this amazing family, this tribe of people that just want to continue to crush it together, but more importantly, want to see those around you crush it as well. And I think that's the most beautiful thing about this. So, there's a lot of people that are going to watch this either now or later, and they're going to be like, oh my God, this kid's 22, almost 23. How, what is he doing? What has he got? How does he know so early in life that entrepreneurship is for him, and this, that, or the other? And I always tell people it doesn't matter when your entrepreneurial bug hits you, whether it's at 20 or whether it's at 70. Each one of us has a gift or something to create inside of us, and it's just a matter of letting it out and not keeping your foot on the gas and always driving forward. So what do you think has been the greatest lesson that you've learned so far in being an entrepreneur in these last few years?
That's a great question. I think the biggest thing about being an entrepreneur, and I'm sure you can definitely speak to this, is the understanding that there's so many ups and downs. I'll go through
Every
a day
day,
where,
man. Every day.
I mean, it's not month to month. I'll go through a single day where in the morning I feel like I'm on top of the world and can do anything. And at night I'm like, what am I doing? Is this for me? Do I need to try something else? But kind of figuring that out through entrepreneurship and through work, and being able to stay positive through good times and bad. I think it's taught me a really good lesson for that. And that obviously translates into everything else that I'm a part of. Kind of going in with the understanding that things aren't always going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But there's something at the end of the tunnel, or
I
the
was
end
just
of the path.
I was just thinking there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. It's never as bad as we think it is.
Yep.
So, a lot of my network, they're entrepreneurs, they're network marketers, they're business owners. What, now, being where your business is, and I think everyone's goal is to get to 7 figures and then go beyond. So what's for the new entrepreneur, or even the seasoned entrepreneur that's kind of like trying to get back in the game or trying to advance themselves? What's the best piece of advice you can give to that person to stay in the game, or how to get started in the game?
I think it's who you surround yourself with. I'm the person who I think I can do everything on my own. That's always been me. And joining this mastermind has been so eye-opening for me. The understanding that, again, like it's cliche, everyone says it, you are who you surround yourself with. You're the average of the 5 people you hang out with most.
Yeah.
But I just think it's such an accelerator. And if you hang out with a bunch of people who are extremely successful, you're probably going to be extremely successful too.
Yeah, and it's not to knock our family or friends either. It's just,
of course,
it's just a fact. It's just a fact.
Yeah, no, and I think that goes for if you want to get into the entrepreneurial world, you need to surround yourself with entrepreneurs. If you are already in the entrepreneurial world and you want to advance, you need to surround yourself with advanced entrepreneurs who think where you want to think. And no, you're completely right never to knock any friends or family. My dad's watching here. I call him whenever I have a leadership problem. There's so much stuff that he's helped me with as far as a leader. But there are things as far as other entrepreneur type things, business development, stuff like that he's probably not best suited for. And I didn't have people like that in my life. So finding role models, finding people that can help you, that have been there, done that, um, I think is huge.
It's a beautiful thing. So
Yep.
before we wrap up, I got a couple rapid fire questions. And then my final question is my favorite one. So what is your greatest personal accomplishment to date? I know these are deep. I end on a really deep note.
Oh, that's a tough question. I wish you would have sent me something to prepare.
No, it's better not to prepare, because what's going to come out is what's, what's on your heart. So if you had to, not professional, personal, like what's something personally that you're really proud of that you've accomplished in your life?
I think for me, it was being named captain by my teammates in soccer.
Awesome. So, I
Between my
mean, being a
junior and
leader,
senior year. Yeah.
that's great. Now, what's your greatest professional accomplishment to date?
Probably hitting seven figures. That was really cool.
It's amazing. And it's only the beginning. So 3 last rapid fire. Number 1, what is the greatest personal obstacle that you had to overcome in your personal life? What's the greatest obstacle that you were faced with?
Probably youth. Always being the young entrepreneur, and kind of having that constant battle in my head of, can I do this? Am I too young? Do I not know enough? That's probably the biggest struggle, and still a struggle for me.
Awesome. I love the vulnerability. And final 2 questions. Number 1, what is your greatest professional obstacle you've had to overcome?
Building a team. I know I touched on that before, but that's something that it's been a constant difficulty for me not to dive into it too much.
And there's always room for progress, which is the great thing, because when you can acknowledge that there's something that needs to be improved, then you try to find a solution to the problem, which is the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship. And final question before I let you go, and I want everyone I want you to tell everyone where they can find you. What does success mean to you?
I think success to me means impacting the lives of others for the better. Which again, for me, that happens through leadership. For other people, it might happen through donations. It might happen through other avenues. But I think who you are reflects with what you've done for others. So if you can leave Earth saying that you had an impact on 1 million people, or you helped 10 people become the best version of themselves, I think you can definitely call yourself successful.
It's amazing. Great advice and great definition of success. There's no wrong answer too, so it means something different to each person. So before I let you go, where can people find information about Ticket Pickers? How can they get in touch with you? And where can you send them to find out more?
Yeah, so we have a Facebook page. We have a website as well. I'm sure we can tag the Facebook page somewhere in here.
Absolutely.
But just by searching Ticket Pickers through Facebook, also ticketpickers.com. I know I touched on, the core purpose of our business is to buy tickets from people. So for anyone looking to sell tickets, they can message us through Facebook. Anyone looking to buy tickets can go to our website. There's a button that says buy tickets on there. There's a lot of inventory on there. They can use the code Pickers, all lowercase. That'll give them 5% off.
Awesome.
And yeah, ticketpickers.com or Ticket Pickers on Facebook.
Love it. I'll drop those links after the video loads. And Bryce, just really grateful for you and your continued friendship, and looking forward to seeing all the great things that you and your business are going to do this year. And I appreciate you taking the time out to talk.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me, Scott.
And great job on your first Facebook Live, brother.
Yeah.
Now you're a pro.
It. I'm
now
glad
you're a
it
pro.
was with you.
Me too, brother. So thanks again. And guys, if you're on here, definitely connect with Bryce. 22 years old, already a 7-figure earner, and just really paving the way for others. So Bryce, again, congratulations, and just massive gratitude for you and your friendship, and looking forward to connecting with you soon.
Yep. Awesome. Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, brother. Good to see you.
Yep.
So, 22 years old, seven-figure income earner. Um, Again, him and I, we connected right away when we were out in California. Just a great, great guy. And I'm going to give a shout out to his parents who are on here, Barbara, and I think his dad, David, came on here as well. And I just want to give a shout out to them for raising just a fantastic human being. So guys, ticketpickers.com. You can also find Ticket Pickers Facebook page. I will tag those in here so you can find them easier. Buy, sell tickets. And, Bryce is your guy. So, guys, thanks for joining, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.